I have seen the name XAVI Hernandez pop up in many different videos, especially the video we watched about Iniesta. So I figured today we'll be checking out how good was XAVI Hernandez by Raymar Football. So I know that there was some conflict between having Iniesta and XAVI on the pitch at the exact same time prior to Pep Guardiola coming in, and then after Pep came in and decided to put both of them on at the same time, it was basically like one of the most unstoppable like duos of all time, if I'm not mistaken. So I've learned a little bit about Iniesta. It's time to learn a little bit about XAVI.
In 1999, an 18-year-old kid would be pulled out of FC Barcelona's youth program, La Masia, and placed as a starter on the men's team where he was expected to replace their injured captain and help save the season from mediocrity. Sounds crazy, right? Well, you're not alone. Many fans and even some players thought the exact same. After all, to many outsiders looking in, the kid was too small, too slow, and too weak to play against grown men. However, that kid would go on to shock the entire country by helping Barca win the league title that year, and eventually go on to influence and dominate the footballing world for nearly a decade, being remembered as one of, if not the greatest midfielder in history. His name was XAVI Hernandez. Until this very day, he continues to save Barcelona from mediocrity. So let's take a look at how godly XAVI really was as a player and how he is once again saving Barcelona by using his football genius as their coach.
So he was he turned out to be a coach for Barca for a while, right? I came in as a Barca fan like early last year, well no, early 2024, late 2024, one of those two. I think it was late 2024. But so he was their coach for a while, huh?
XAVI had footballing DNA since he was born, probably more so than many other footballing legends. His father owned a small local youth club in his hometown, and he would be surrounded by the game ever since. At the age of 11, FC Barcelona scouts had spotted him playing and offered him a chance to be in their prestigious youth program, La Masia, a place where many footballing legends would be bred. One day, XAVI's youth coach and mentor, Juan Villa, asked Pep Guardiola, who was a starter at Barca's men's team at the time, to watch XAVI in his training. And after witnessing him play, Guardiola came over to Juan Villa and jokingly said, "I should watch out, because XAVI is going to take my place in the first team." And ironically enough, unknown to any of them at the time, that's exactly what would eventually happen. Once XAVI would reach the right age, he would finally get a chance to shine. Barca's coach at the time, Louis van Gaal, once said, "I see everything in this kid, and I'm gonna put him in the team immediately. He's more than good enough, so I don't care about his age." So, in 1998, at just 18 years old, XAVI would make his senior team debut while scoring the only goal in a win against Mallorca.
Actually, I need to double check. Was that one of the videos that the audio broke for me? Because I have watched... Yeah, okay, so I did watch a little bit about Dennis Bergkamp, and I'm pretty certain that this was his coach at the time. The name has escaped me. I don't think that's him, is it? It's not Louis van Gaal, is it? I'm so sad that video actually turned out that way, but yeah, I have seen this man before.
Care about his age. So, in 1998, at just 18 years old, XAVI would make his senior team debut while scoring the only goal in a win against Mallorca. Before that match, Barcelona were 10th in league standings. However, by the end of the season, Barcelona would finish as league champions, with the teenager playing a huge role in their success. He would then become a national sensation and be named the La Liga Breakthrough Player of the Year. XAVI was quite small and slow, but what he lacked physically, he made up for with his insane footballing IQ, passing, and playmaking. Former teammate, Ballon d'Or winner, and Brazilian legend Rivaldo recalls XAVI being incredibly good, especially for his age, so much so that he said it was obvious he would have a great career, and credits him as one of the most important players for Barcelona's success that season. Also saying, XAVI kept it simple, moving at almost walking pace, but as soon as he got the ball, he knew what to do with it and almost never lost possession. XAVI was a natural leader even at a young age and had insane positional sense on the pitch, always knowing where everyone was, including his opponents, almost as if he had eyes in the back of his head or a full 360 view like a chameleon. He was so comfortable with the ball that all his teammates trusted him to make the right play and advance the offense. And when you have legends like Rivaldo and Luis Figo having such high trust and praise for an 18-year-old kid, you knew he was special. And just like how Xavi was always watching where everyone was on the pitch, sometimes when you're online, someone's always watching you too, whether it be your government or other unwanted parties. And unlike Xavi, they might not be trying to assist you. Thankfully, today's sponsor, NordVPN, can be the ultimate teammate and watch your back by protecting your private information wherever you go. Have you ever wanted to see football clips, stream matches, or look at any online videos or movies, but see that it's restricted for your location or region? Football is a game that's loved by people from all over the world, but they might not be able to freely enjoy watching online because of where they're from. NordVPN lets you access data from your laptop, phone, or whatever device you have from anywhere in the world and use the internet as if you were actually in that country. This lets you access and unblock websites and contents that you might not usually be able to see. For example, Premier League content is only available to the US and certain European countries, but with NordVPN, I can move my location to the UK and watch with no problem. From sports YouTube videos and even geography-locked Netflix shows that are only available in certain countries, with NordVPN, you can see it anytime and anywhere you are. They also help hide your IP and information from hackers and unsecured websites and networks, so you know you're always safe no matter where you go. Plus, NordVPN is also the fastest in the market, so your devices are always running at a maximum speed and finding the best instant connections worldwide. So make sure you go to nordvpn.com/Raymar or click the link in the description to try it for yourself risk-free for 30 days with a money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to worry about. Thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Xavi would slowly begin to revolutionize not only his club, but his country as well. The following summer, Xavi would make history by becoming the first Spanish team to win an international FIFA tournament, winning the U21 World Championships, where he was his country's most valuable player. And just a year after, in 2000, he would help Spain win silver in the 2000 Olympics. Maybe it wasn't a big deal for the rest of the world back then, but for Spain, it was a slight preview of things to come, and the beginning of their golden generation of footballers. Ever since Pep Guardiola's injury in the 1999-2000 season, Xavi became Barca's main playmaker. Being handed the keys to the offense in your club or country at the age of 18/19 is an incredibly rare opportunity, but Xavi was one of those incredibly rare generational talents. After a few years of disappointing seasons with multiple managerial changes and identity crisis for the club, in 2004, Frank Rijkaard would take the helm as a club manager, and Barcelona would finally find a style of play and were slowly becoming a force to be reckoned with, bringing in the dawn of their golden era. That year, at age 23, Xavi would be named Barcelona's co-captain, a sign that showed just how important he was for the squad, helping them win the Spanish Super Cup and league title once more while being named the 2005 Spanish Player of the Year. Then, in the 2005-2006 season, Barcelona would famously win the Champions League title, the La Liga title, and Spanish Super Cup and become one of the most feared clubs across Europe. And despite how star-studded their lineup was with players like prime Ronaldinho and prime Samuel Eto'o, Xavi was the heart of the offense. Carles Puyol describes it best when he said, "When Xavi was on the pitch, the match revolved around him. He knew how to manage the tempo of the game and knew what the team needed at the moment, whether to play with pace or keep control of the ball." Even Samuel Eto'o recalls saying, "What stood out to me was it didn't matter what kind of ball was fired into him. He would always control it and always make a good pass. He made it look so simple." And finally, Andres Iniesta, one of his longest teammates, said, "Xavi made playing alongside him straightforward and easy for everyone. He made the difficult things look simple." And that's not an easy thing to do in football. And indeed, it isn't. Watching Xavi play, he might even make you think that you can do what he's doing. But trust me, you can't. He was as unique as they come. This was the time that Xavi really began to revolutionize the midfield and how teams played football. And in 2008, Xavi would finally get recognized as one of the greatest maestros in the world. Before the 2008 European tournament, few gave Spain any real chance at winning. But for those who knew the Spanish players and the quiet revolution that was happening in the way football was being played in Spain, they knew La Roja would shock the world. With Xavi leading the way alongside Iniesta and David Silva, the world would begin to know just how much power the midfield and holding possession really had. They took the world by surprise with their style of play, dominating teams despite their lack of size and athletic ability, relying on pure skill, technique, and intelligence. That 2008 Spanish team would win Spain's first ever major European title in almost half a century. And finally, the world would be well aware of the golden generation of Spanish footballers led by the core of their team, Xavi, who was named the 2008 Euros Player of the Tournament.
Wait a minute.
Would be well aware of the golden generation of Spanish footballers led by the core of their team.
This is the guy who's currently the manager for Real Madrid now, right? Oh, small world that would actually come across that in this video. But I was going to say, it seems like midfield is quite literally the heart of pretty much any like stable team, at least of this era, you know? It seems like if you were really going to be able to dominate this era or be able to fight against like the Barcelonas or whatever, you had to have a strong, probably like a really strong midfield to kind of counteract like how aggressive and powerful their midfield was. But I even feel like now, even in the modern era, having good midfielders is what can really make or break a team. Like, I know there's a lot of talk about like offensive, defensive sides, but I feel like if you just don't have like that good midfielder or that good midfield, like you're going to struggle way, way harder. Tell me if I'm wrong though, feel free.
Xavi, who was named the 2008 Euros Player of the Tournament. The following 2008-2009 season, Bayern Munich had almost signed Xavi away from Barcelona until Pep Guardiola, Xavi's former captain and teammate, stepped in. Because the two of them shared the same football ideologies, the same development, and even played together, Xavi would trust Guardiola's words that with him being at the heart of Barcelona's offense, they could rule the footballing world and change the way the game was played. And thus, history was made and the infamous Tiki-taka playstyle was born. That season, Barcelona would win their 3 Champions League, La Liga, and Copa del Rey titles, becoming the most feared team in football. It was an absolute nightmare to go against Barcelona, and teams knew it. Tiki-taka, made possible from Xavi's influence that began years back, dominating every other playstyle. This incredible season would see Xavi have his first appearance in the Ballon d'Or shortlist, finishing 3rd in 2009 behind Messi and CR7. And just a fun fact, Xavi had more than 90% pass completion rate in the 2008 Euros and the 2008-2009 Champions League season, all while playing more passes than anyone else. In the 2010 World Cup, Xavi and Spain would show the entire world the beauty and terror of playing simple football. While Xavi wasn't Spain's captain, he was indeed the heart of the squad. Xavi was a player who saw everything on the pitch. While many people outperformed him when it came to pace and strength, only a few in history could compare to his vision and playmaking IQ. In fact, during the tournament, Xavi had an insane 91% passing success rate. Spain, led by Xavi and Iniesta at the midfield, would win their very first World Cup title, solidifying the genius and importance of the midfield, showing how the dominant possession style of play that Xavi had spearheaded was the new meta for the footballing world. Xavi would make his second consecutive appearance in the Ballon d'Or shortlist, finishing 3rd yet again behind teammates Messi and Iniesta in 2010.
I mean, look at this shit, dude. I mean, damn, from what I've learned, I want to hear this from non-Barcelona fans. This generally has to have been just one hell of an era. From what I have learned, from what I've come to understand about each of their individual like skills, playmaking abilities, and whatever. I mean, this just genuinely sounds insane. I hate that I missed this. I say that every video, but I really hate that I missed this. It sounds absurd.
3rd yet again behind teammates Messi and Iniesta in 2010. The 2010-2011 season would again bring insane success for Barcelona. They would win the Champions League title, La Liga title, UEFA Super Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, and Spanish Super Cup, only missing out on one trophy, the Copa del Rey, which they finished as runner-ups to. Once again, Xavi being a huge part of their success as usual, being named the IFFHS World's Best Playmaker for the 4th time, which he won consecutively since 2008, and his 3rd La Liga Midfielder of the Year award, which he's won every year since 2009. He would also have his third consecutive Ballon d'Or shortlist appearance, finishing third behind Ronaldo and Messi once again. Xavi would bring glory to his country once more in the 2012 European tournament, where he would have another insane performance with a 94% passing success rate, higher than any other player in the tournament. It's insane how accurate the man was. He basically did this in every major international tournament since 2008. He's also the first player to have ever assisted in 2 European tournament finals, helping Spain solidify their place in history with a third consecutive major international title, being remembered as one of the most dominant international sides in history. That Euro 2012 win would make Xavi the most decorated Spanish player in history. Xavi's twilight at Barcelona was definitely his last year during the 2014-2015 season, and what better way to go out than winning yet another treble with the Champions League, Copa del Rey, and La Liga title under his belt one last time. Xavi was so important for Barcelona that they haven't even gotten close to winning the Champions League without him. After that season, he would leave Barcelona and end his career in Qatar, playing for 3 seasons, where he still played incredibly well for Al Sadd until he finally hanged his boots in 2019. Xavi's decline also meant the decline of Tiki-taka altogether. Many managers and squads thought they could replicate the tactic, but it was only possible because of players like Xavi and Iniesta. They were the reason why Tiki-taka was possible. And with the decline of Xavi also came the decline of Spain and their international dynasty.
He really
Looking at
plays such
Xavi's
a role.
stats,
Wow.
113 goals and 214 assists in 945 matches, it's one of the few times where stats don't actually count. Xavi didn't necessarily always make the assist. Oftentimes, he was the vital pass before the assist, or always holding the ball and waiting for the perfect opportunity to set up the play which led to the assist or goal. All these highlights made by AS Comps, who I think has the best highlights on YouTube, and link to his channel in the description, can describe Xavi simply better than any assist or goal stat sheet could show. His impact to his team was beyond stats, and he will be remembered for many generations to come. This man helped Barcelona turn from mediocrity to one of the best club dynasties in football history. Xavi will be remembered as one of the greatest and most impactful midfielders in history, both in club and at international level. A man who's done it all, who very, very few players can even come close to reaching. I don't even have enough time to read all his accolades because of the sheer number of trophies and recognition he's gotten. And even if there comes a midfielder who has more goals and assists in less games, the chances of them impacting football or doing as much as Xavi did will be very slim. When Xavi left, Barcelona suffered their most embarrassing defeats and season performances ever. I mean, look at Barcelona when Valverde, Setien, and Koeman were coaching them. Barcelona is even playing in the Europa League right now. Who would have ever thought that a decade ago? Barcelona under Koeman, especially after Messi left, were particularly horrendous. Barcelona looked like it was going to come way down after the insane heights they reached as a club. However, after Xavi stepped in, Barcelona is slowly coming back to life again. He's made changes that are bringing the club to great form once more, especially with the recent signings like Aubameyang and developing of young players like Pedri, Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati, and many more young Spanish players.
We know where they're at
After
now.
all, Xavi learned directly from Pep Guardiola, one of the most successful managers in history. And looking at Barcelona's recent form, they might just finish second in La Liga and continue to improve each year. Never count out this man's genius in football. He dominated the midfield and the way the game was played for nearly a decade, and that knowledge and experience can definitely be used to turn a club around. But Xavi still has a long way to go if he wants to make Barcelona great again. But for what he's doing this season, they're definitely headed in the right direction. But that's all for me today, guys. Where do you rate Xavi in the list of all-time great players? Let me know what you think about him in the comments section below. Who do you think was better, him or Iniesta? Also, suggest who you want me to make a video on next. Leave a like if you enjoyed, it's all I really ask and helps me continue making videos like this by helping YouTube recommend this video to more people. Lastly, subscribe for more videos like this, and thank you to all of my fans for the continued support, and I'll see you in the next one.
So that leaves a couple of questions that I have for you guys. Do you guys think we'll ever see another midfielding duo like Iniesta and Xavi again? Because it sounds like this is just straight magic. Like, this is a magical era that you can't really replicate, right? Isn't it crazy to think how like the stars just sort of aligned between that like 28 or that 2000 and what 2008 to 2016 run out of Barcelona. From what I've understood, it just looked like the stars aligned. They got every single perfect player for every single position you could have ever imagined, it looks like. So I know he's not the manager now, but what is Xavi up to like these days? Like, what is he doing now? Like, is he still helping, working with a club of any type, like, or is he just kind of chilling? Like, do we not really know what he's doing right now? Even like in terms of like managers, I mean, Pep going into that great era that he had, it's insane to me how well everything lined up. But I do wonder if we'll ever see another midfielder like Xavi or like Iniesta. Like, who's currently considered the best midfielder in the world right now? I know Pedri's definitely up there. He's an incredible midfielder, but who do you guys consider to be like the greatest midfielder right now? You guys know way more than I do. To be perfectly honest, I've been getting this kind of feeling, and a lot of you have been telling me that a lot of teams are trying to chase like the next best like Messi or the next best like Ronaldo or something. Do you guys think that's true? Do you think there's a lack of like fundamentals in certain football teams now, no matter the league or whatever? I just don't feel like we're seeing like these levels, this level of like magic right now in the sport, but I could be wrong. So let me know in the comments. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you want me to react to I guess like a passing skills goals kind of like video about Xavi Hernandez and maybe even Iniesta in there too. I would love to see more of like their plays that they would make together. So let me know if you want me to react to something like that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about the reaction in the comments down below, and by hitting that subscribe button, be sure to go check out the original video from Raymar Football, which I will leave a link for in the description down below like we always do. And hey, this has been Jay with another football reaction. Hope to catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.